there, Jean Greer here at Stylish Fireplaces. Today I want to introduce you to the Napoleon Clearion Elite. And as the sign says, this is the first true see-through electric fireplace. It's certainly the simplest see-through electric fireplace that you can install. The Elite is the second generation of the Napoleon Clearion, so they've added some new features, which I'll show you in a moment. One thing you'll notice right now is that we can't actually see through this fireplace, and so you're wondering, why is this a see-through? Well, one of the great features they've added in the Elite upgrade is a privacy screen in the middle. So although we really like the idea of a see-through fireplace in certain situations, there are times when you want some privacy between the two spaces. And so with the first generation, it was strictly see-through. If you didn't want to see through, then you shouldn't put in the fireplace. But in this generation, they've added a privacy screen. So right now I've got it set to opaque, but with the click of a remote, we can have semi-opaque or we can have completely see-through. So that, I think, is a huge improvement, because there are definitely times when we just don't want to see through 100% into the next space. So think about bedrooms and bathrooms, for instance. There's not always a time when you want to see through from one into the other. So it's nice to have that privacy feature. So I love that about it. They've also changed the flame effect here, and I think they've gotten a nice update on the flame where it covers more of the available area. The previous flame was a bit of a ribbon effect, which was pretty, but I think this one does a better job of mimicking a natural flame. As before, this unit will fit fully flush into a 2x8 wall, so it's really slim. There is just no other way to get a two-sided fireplace in such a tiny depth. So a 2x8 wall will make it fully flush so that this frame is sitting against your wall structure. If you don't have 2x8 to work with, or you're not building a new wall and you just can't get there, if you have a 2x4 wall or a 2x6 wall, you would order the optional trim kit for a semi-flush installation. And so what that means is you would replace this skinny frame with a thicker frame. And the thicker frame would be, let's say, 2 inches roughly on either side of the unit. So they would give you a frame for both sides. If you were working in a 2x6 opening, you would decide that one side would stick out of the wall slightly, and that frame you would put on only one side, and it would cover up the edges of the fireplace where it sticks out of the wall and make it look finished. If you're working with a 2x4 wall, you would put that optional frame on both sides of the fireplace, and so you'd have a 2-inch projection on both sides of your wall, and the frame would cover that up and make it look finished on both sides. So it's a very versatile system that they've created, and it allows you to install in as little as 4-inch walls or as much as 8-inch and be fully flush. Any more than 8 inches, you would have some difficulty, because in order to service this, we want to be able to have access to the frame and to the glass. So creating a wall deeper than 8 and then having this set in would create some issues for us for servicing. So we prefer not to do that, and it really wasn't designed for that. You will also notice, and when I open up this window and show you how it's see-through, you may be able to see that on the other side we have clear crystals which come with the unit. On this side, we've used their driftwood and stones configuration with crushed glass. And you get enough of each to do both sides the same. In here, for showing purposes, for display purposes, we put one side with the logs and stones and the other side with the clear crystals. But you certainly get enough of both to do 2 sides the same. So not to worry that you have to have them different. The other neat thing about this unit is you can set the heat independently on each side. So if I need a little more heat on my side, I can change the heat to suit my side of the wall. The other side of the wall may choose to have no heat at all, or they need a different heat setting. So it's really, really well suited to this 2-sided application. And the other thing that you can do, of course, is change the light settings. So these flames can change colors, as well as the lights underneath the ember bed can change colors. And so they've added a lot more depth to the colors in the Clearion Elite. This is a direct wire unit, and it can connect to 120 volts or 240 volts. So you've got lots of versatility there. The main reason to connect to 240 is if you need a higher heat output. So on 120 volts, we generally equate that to 5,000 BTUs, and we equate that to warming up an area of about 400 square feet. So if you connect to 240, obviously you've got more heat output, more BTUs, and almost double the heat output. So if it's going to be in an area that's going to remain a little chilly, it's great for zone heating areas of the house that stay cool no matter what you do. You don't want to crank up the furnace on the entire house, so you use this to do zone heating in the areas that need it most. And so it's very effective for that and very efficient at doing that. So I really love it when we have a dual voltage unit like this where we can suit it to so many different scenarios for our customers. So again, it's the Clearion Elite see-through two-sided electric fireplace. It comes in one size, and that's a 50-inch length for the moment. The window viewing area is about 43 inches, but the overall length from edge of frame to edge of frame is 50, so it's a really popular size. It's obviously a linear profile, or what we call a linear profile, meaning it's much wider than it is tall, so long and skinny, which is incredibly popular for most installations these days. And I just think it's a really nice upgrade. They've done a great job of making some important changes. I'm going to step out of the picture and show you some of the colors and show you how this window in the middle will open up, and you'll be able to see right through into the display behind us. So as you can see, it just takes a click of the remote to open up that window and give you semi-transparent or fully transparent view through. And as I was changing the colors on the ember bed, you notice the background colors were changing as well. So the fire stayed whatever color I had set the fire, but the background and underneath the ember bed was changing colors as I changed the color on the remote. So it really allows you to create a lot of different effects, from natural looking where it is now with everything in the orange and yellow range to summertime looks, I call them, where you add in the cooler colors and try and get away from that warmth of a fire and just get into the coolness of a really neat feature. So again, this is called Clearion Elite. It's a see-through two-sided linear electric fireplaces. You'll find it on stylishfireplaces.ca under Napoleon if you want to shop by brand, or if you're shopping by style, look for our 2- and 3-sided fireplace segment and go in there and you'll find the Napoleon Clearion Elite.